That's my dude right there from my childhood, okay? I was a big Power Rangers mark, especially for the first series, okay? When it came out, it was some of the coolest shit around. And the Red Ranger, okay, if you're a guy, okay, the Red Ranger was top motherfucker. And then he became the Black Ranger, and he had that sweet, you can kind of see it in the background there. He had that little sweet saber. I got that, okay, funny story, and a little bit of a side note. I think that probably was Christmas 96 or Christmas 97. It was the only time we dared, my sister, well, okay, fine. My sister and I decided to wake up and get a little bit too excited for Christmas. I got that for that Christmas, and my parents were so pissed because we were up at like 6 o'clock or something like that. But anyways, Power Rangers was my jam, and it was until the Pokemon stuff came around. But the original Red Ranger is back in the news, being like so many other people that are around there, taking advantage of the willy-nilly PPP loans that were just handed out in 2020. And it looks like he was, kind of a central figure in a big old scamming ring. The Red Power Ranger. And that's how he's noted in the Department of Justice. It's fucking hilarious. Austin St. John, okay? Not as ASJ, okay? He's not AKA, all right, anything else. He's Austin St. John, AKA Red Power Ranger. I guess rip the 36 other fucking Red Power Rangers that are out there. I don't know what season they're on anymore. Is busted for a $3.5 million COVID relief investment scam, along with 18 others, including a ringleader named Tank. Huh. Are we sure that Tank wasn't a lackey of Rita Repulsa or anything like that? Did he work for Lord Zed? Like, what are we doing here? Texas actor who played the Red Power Ranger in the hit 1990s TV series and subsequent films. Oh my, was he? Yeah, he was in the original film. That film fucking ruled. I don't give a shit what anybody said. You got to see Zordon after his crystal was broken, and the soundtrack was dope. Anyways, so he was arrested Tuesday of last week and charged with fraudulently obtaining COVID relief loans. Yeah, no, taking advantage of the PPP loans, like how many different ex-NFL players? Okay, there was like a ring of 20 guys over there. Not exactly unique. Jason Lawrence Geiger, 47, starred in the franchise under his stage name Austin St. John. And then he'd go on to appear in other films under the name Austin St. John, because that sounds like a name that would be swinging a different type of saber. He remains in jail awaiting a hearing in Plano, Texas on Monday. Geiger was one of 19 people charged with participating in the scheme, which federal authorities say resulted in $3.5 million in fraudulently obtained funds. Yeah, because they were so fucking easy and the government was just handing them out, okay? The scheme was spearheaded by 47-year-old Michael Hill, aka Tank, and Andrew Moran. Didn't he have a cool nickname, okay? He didn't have a stage name or anything? Damn it. He's just another nameless putty. The two ringleaders recruited others to use existing businesses or create a business. Oh yeah, exactly. That's all you needed. All you needed was a name and a P.O. box to apply for the loans. Part of the $3.49 billion Federal CARES Act, fucking atrocity, designed to help struggling businesses during the pandemic. Hey, to be fair, they just, hey, these guys were just out there creating businesses and they just need a little help to get off the ground. Okay. But anyways, yes, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in, the Eastern District of Texas. Okay. 5th Circuit. Now, they're saying that that's a screenshot from the 90s show. I don't remember the sword. But then again, the last time that I watched that was probably in the fucking 90s, so don't quote me on that. Those in the network obtained the pandemic relief funds and paid Hill and Moran, who then used the money for themselves. Oh, so he was a part of a Ponzi scheme? Okay, so this was a scam on top of a scheme. Jesus. Some instances, those accused sent the money to a man named Jonathan Spencer, 33, who invested it in foreign exchange markets, prosecutors said. Oh, hey, at least he was trying to do something with it. Okay, why are you mad at this guy? He was just trying to reinvest it in the economy. It sounds like he was actually doing something instead of, sending a whole bunch of fucking money across the sea over to Ukraine. Anyways, Geiger pleaded not guilty to the single charge against him. Yeah, come on. This is a businessman. He's got business plans that he needs to fund. Then his attorney said that he plans to vigorously defend himself against the allegations. Exactly. Prosecutors across the country are now bringing charges against people for fraudulently obtaining loans. Yeah, it's a pretty big scam that was uncovered and perpetrated for the longest time. In February, the daughter of former South Florida mayor who recently ran for Congress was sentenced to prison for lying to obtain $300,000 in COVID-19 relief funds. Tamara Holness, 28, daughter of former Broward County Mayor Dale Holness, was given a 20-month sentence for the Paycheck Protection Program fraud. Yeah, pleaded guilty in November, a day after the Democratic primary. Of course it was a Democrat. For a U.S. House seat that her father ended up losing by 5 votes. Darn it. Unfortunately, there wasn't a program to fill out in order to get more votes. Well, actually, there is, but I don't think a low-level seat like that would have access to Joe Biden. Anyways, the defendant saw this as an opportunity to unjustly enrich herself by defrauding the program designed to help those struggling businesses that we purposely put on the struggle. Anyways, Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Kaplan wrote in the court records, Tamara Holness's lawyer, Sue Ann Robinson, said it was more of an act of desperation than greed. Okay, cool. That makes it better. Terrible statement. She said some of the money went towards housing arrangements and taxes. Yeah, no, exactly. She lived off of it. Of course, some of it also probably went to food and a sweet party. Holness applied for the loan for her company, Holness Consulting. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, she consults on things and adventures and things of that nature. The application claimed that the company had an average monthly payroll of $120,000 in 2019 for its 18 employees. Yeah, literally, you just had to make things up, okay? I have this business, here's my LLC, here's my number, and yeah, no, we paid people, I guess. We don't really have to provide any of that. You guys can check that out yourself, right? Just write me a check, okay? Business was incorporated in November of 2018 before becoming inactive. No, it was still active, though. Come on now. The defendant reinstated the business in June 22nd, 2020, in order to obtain the PPP loan. The business had no employees and virtually no income. How do you know? Maybe she was out there consulting. She needed that $300,000 in order to stimulate any sort of new business that's out there, okay? What do you know? What do you know? Prosecutor wrote in court documents. That sounds like sexism. Prosecutor said Holness spent months creating a paper trail after receiving the money. Yeah, of course, because these scam artists ain't that fucking smart. The court documents showed that she paid 22 people. Oh, okay, including a school bus driver and a security guard. Yeah, she's consulting, okay? She's consulting on how to do parties, so you have to get a bus driver there to get the people to the party, okay? And a security guard to make sure that it's safe. About $1,300 every 2 weeks. So she's like still sitting on a whole bunch of money. Once they cashed the checks, the employees kept $300 and returned the rest to Holness. What's with this recycling scheme? That's weird. Holness apologized to the community, the government, and to her family, the South Florida Sun Sentinel reported. Yeah, but now you can go to jail. She noted that she affected her father's career. No, actually, before all of this was made public, he was still running, but he only lost by 5 votes because you sucked incidentally to your father, okay? Oh, but it's a good reason he didn't win the primary, because he said, oh, we're all human, and she acknowledged it. That's why you should just go ahead and not prosecute or anything like that. But as for the Red Power Ranger, though, here's my man in his prime, okay? He is facing, what did I see here? He is facing 20 years in Fed clink. I don't know if he has a criminal record, okay, because he was famous a long fucking time ago, and maybe he had to also do a bunch of other schemes to remain relevant, but I'm sure he probably still pulls a fair fee or a pretty penny to whatever, local cons are around there, because he's the original Red Ranger. That still has some sort of pull out there, but yeah, man, these PPP loans were easily exploitable. Shouldn't have been necessary. Should have just let motherfuckers go back to work. Let's see if we either tighten this up or run this back once again once the monkeypox starts showing up. But with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.